I paid 3 grand for the bloody settlement application. Everything else is sorted, right? That's all I'm paying. And the company's like, we have a range of services. You can do your normal free appointment, which is all fully booked, and you have to wait a month for that. Or you can pay £60 and then get an earlier appointment. Same situation as you at the moment, Jackie. Have you submitted then? When I submitted my application, I was really paranoid. I was like, what if I got something wrong? The main thing I'm worried about now is when I went to the if most of you, I assume most of you have not applied for visas or settlement in the UK, so let me talk about my experience doing that. I know this is a stream where I play a game in Polish, but as always, it takes us a bit of time to get there. This is a little channel update. That's what I always do. That's what I do instead of like filming a video where I'm like, hello, this is what I've been up to. Instead, I just yap at the camera live about what's been happening. If you don't like it, then come back in like half an hour. Anyway, so how it's like to apply for settlement in the UK. Jackie will know this. So I submitted the whole thing online, and then I have to book an appointment at a certain center in order to take my biometrics. So first of all, I'm not sure if I mentioned this. No, hold on. Last time I hadn't applied yet, so I wasn't in the last stream. So first of all, you have to pay for that fucking appointment. You don't necessarily have to, but if you don't pay for it, you basically wait an entire month until you can do that appointment, which is crazy. Because you thought, oh, I paid 3 grand for the bloody settlement application. They were just, everything else is sorted, right? That's all I'm paying. And then no, I go to that next part with a company that does the appointments, the biometrics, and the company's like, we have a range of services. You can do your normal free appointment, which is all fully booked, and you have to wait a month for that. Or you can pay £60 and then get an earlier appointment. You have this one option at 8 a.m. on a Thursday. You could do that on this day, and that's it. They also have like other services, like if you don't know how to scan your documents, you can bring your documents to them and they'll scan it for you for £50. Great, lovely. I also checked like other centers in Leeds, Liverpool, Sheffield, and I think like 2 of them are actually closed, so they're not functional, and 2 of them are also completely out of appointments. There's literally not even paid options. It's just completely out for the next month. So I'm guessing that's why we're so full, because like the Liverpool one is shut, so people have to come to Manchester, and that's why it clogs up the system. Great. So I paid extra for that. Help me out if you would like to. I've got a new goal here, by the way. That's a polygon gathering goal, because I'll talk about that at some point, not now. But that's my next thing to work towards financially. That's going to cost me a lot. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Yeah, so I go to the appointment, go in the building. I check in, tell them I submit my application, and then I go in the self-service room. Even though it's self-service, there's a bossy lady watching over everything I do. So I'm like, why won't you just let me do it my own pace? But she was like, do this, do that, do this, or that. And I was like, I'm gonna mess with you. So you bet I selected Welsh on the machine, because it's there. It's like, oh, choose your language, English or Welsh. So I clicked Welsh. And then she was like, no, you pressed the wrong one. I'm like, no, I didn't. I pressed the one I wanted. She said, wait, so you understand that, whatever that is? She was so confused. Anyway, so I started the process on the machine. Told me to scan my passport. Apparently the scan wasn't very good because it should be automatic. But instead of asking me to do it again, it tells me to enter all the details on my own by hand, which is stupid. I could have just done that again and done it better. Then that's the one thing where I am worried that I might go wrong, because my nationality officially is British national overseas, which is a kind of nationality in the UK. So in nationality, I was like, that's BNO. And then it asked me where the passport is issued. So normally my answer is UK, because whenever I have an online form that asks for this information, I just scroll down and it's all a list of countries, so the answer is UK. But on this particular machine, it gave me the option British national overseas. So I was very confused. I didn't know which one was the right one. I went for this one. So I'm quite worried that might go wrong. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem, but I didn't know what to do in the moment. And there was this really bossy lady watching me pressing a machine in Welsh. And then I had to take a photo of myself for like 6 times because I kept failing to get my hair out of my face. It kept getting in front of my eyes. And it was a big problem for the machine. So that's all done in the morning. Had a nice breakfast. But fun fact, if you apply now, you don't have to do that anymore, which is really annoying. I knew that was the case when I applied, but it was like, it's not that I have an option. It's either wait a week and a half and then everything is further postponed and delayed, or bite the bullet, pay £60 and have to do an extra step. Great. So that's the story basically. And also I'm aware that currently, I think I explained last time, the time that the application takes is going up because more and more people are qualifying and applying for this. So the processing time is going up. So I'm like, if I wait any extra day, it's just going to go up exponentially. That's the update of my citizenship journey. We're just waiting now. Hopefully I get it by the end of April, and then I can book my flights and stuff to the polyglot gathering. So this is a bit where I do the plug, because I have actually I've done the smart thing. I've booked a hotel for the polyglot gathering that is cancelable for free. So I've done that in case I can't go. I'll cancel it. But right now the situation is I'm not sure how long the process is going to take, and I said earlier, during the process I cannot leave the country, so I can't go to the polyglot gathering in case it takes longer than expected. And also I can't be sure how long it's going to take until it's finished. So if I were to book my flights now and book the polyglot gathering now, I would not be able to cancel those in case I can't go. So I have to wait till it's approved, and then I book everything. And everything is going to go up and up and up because there is a war going on. There's energy crisis and all that. The flight prices are going crazy. That's part of why I'm so stressed. So, as I always say, if you could help out a little bit with my travel plans, I would be really grateful. This is like an estimate of how much it's gonna cost me to actually get there with the flight and hotel, and also thank you very much, Polyglot Gathering, because the price also goes up if you apply later. So initially, if you apply by November, it was like 160 euros. Now it's like 200. And by the time I get my settlement by the time I can leave the country, it's probably going to be 220. So lovely. Back to chat. You paid £125 for any time. You paid for any time. Wow. And £50 for document scan. Why would you pay for document scanning? Can you not scan it yourself? That's £50. I mean, to be fair, I have a scanner. I'm prepared to pay extra for that. As I said, my idea was that even if I have to pay extra to get there, it's still going to be cheaper than the £500 I pay the UK government for them to process my application faster. So I'm like, that's probably still cheaper. That was the idea, and then there was a war, and then there was an energy crisis, and then everything is going to shit. So that was not in the cards when I did that calculus. I can, but I forgot to upload some doc after clicking submit, so I have to change my service level to... Oh no, you missed something. Because apparently you cannot submit after you press submit doc. Yeah, that's why I submitted like literally a few hours before I went to the appointment. Because, so that was a step. You submit your application, and then you go to that company's website and you upload all your documents there. And then you click submit, and then you go to the appointment. And the thing with that is, there is a bit where you have to upload evidence of you having been living in the UK for the past 5 years. I'm like, it's fine. I show them all my bank statements. I literally pay all the time. It's clear that I'm in the UK. But then some people are like, nah, you need more than one type of evidence. So I'm like, shit, what do I need? I give them some like tax bills, give them some like pay slips. The best one would have been for me to get a letter from an official letter from my university saying, oh, this guy's been studying here for the past 5 years. That would have been perfect. But it took them up to 5 working days to get that done. And by the time I realized I needed that, it was already too late. So I applied for the letter anyway. And then guess what? I got the letter from the uni like a few hours after I went to the appointment and did my application. So great. That didn't help. But yeah, I think it's going to be fine. I mean, can I upload more